Good morning, everyone. My name is Helena Nat. I'm the Executive Director with the Greater New York Chamber of Commerce. Welcome. We call it Small Business Fridays because over a year and a half ago, we started, all our webinars due to COVID. And we are here to provide as much information to the businesses to build back New York. And a huge advocate, a huge what's the word, proponent that I'm looking at right now is Man-Lee Lin. Without Man-Lee Lin providing all this information, these webinars, her timely, her time given to provide information for small businesses. And I am like putting my hands out to Man-Lee because we so appreciate her and what she has done for businesses, for the Greater New York Chamber of Commerce and for New York to help build back New York. She has put out so much timely information and provided you the information so you can get loans, you can get, the SBA through the PPP and the economic injury disaster. And she's talked about the 504 program. Today, we are talking about how to sell to the federal government, how to get federal government contracts. A lot of people have asked me that. Over the course of time. I'm going to turn it over to Man-Lee. And then this is being recorded, and usually Man-Lee does send me the deck, the PowerPoint deck, and I do send it out. So just listen, take some notes, and you'll get a copy of this, and I'm going to turn it over to Man-Lee. Thank you so much, Man-Lee. We so appreciate your time and what you have done for small business.
Thank you, Helena. Thank you for the opportunity to deliver the information. So first, I still want to remind everybody, SBA provide one-on-one counseling and the capitals. So I think now, if you already got PPP idle, then maybe think about 7A, 504 loan. And for construction company, especially today, I will talk about government contracting. If you're a construction industry, when you bid for the government contract, you need to have the surety bond. It's like an insurance, actually. So SBA, we have surety bond guarantee programs too. So later I will go to the detail. And also our office, we have an 8A team. So this help, we don't call minority. For SBA, we call socially and economically disadvantaged business. So if you certify as a 8A, then you can, our office, we have a team can help you to negotiate or even represent you to get a government contract. So later I will go to the details. Also, the disaster assistance actually is still going on for idle. Right now, actually raised up to $2 million. Before I go to the government contracting, if you know anyone actually affected by the Hurricane Ida, please let them contact me. So right now, SBA have different kinds of loan for them. Okay, so why should us, go to the federal government to get a contract? So you can see, U.S. government is the biggest buyers in the whole world. I think actually last year, because the PPP, PPE required, so needed. So actually, the numbers go up to $600 billion last year. So you can see the percentage here. So those percentage is just want to show you how the government really want to help the small business. So all the federal government agency, they have to reach the following goals. The first one, all the purchase amount have to more than 23% have to buy from small business, and 5% have to buy from small disadvantaged business, and 3% for Hubzone, historically underutilized business zone, and 3% for service disabled veterans, and 5% for women-owned small business. So if you are a minority and women-owned business, actually you have 10% set aside for you. So 10% of the $500 billion actually is a lot. So I encourage everyone, if you're qualified for any of the certification, you should pursue that. You should certify. Of course, you don't have to certify to get a government contract, but actually that later I will explain to you a lot of advantage of that. So the first things we would talk about, why, a lot of business actually, they didn't think about to get government contract. Number one, a lot of business think that's too complicated. I think, in the past, really, it indeed is like very, you have to hire somebody. I remember 10 years ago when I held seminars, most of the participants are the big company. They have to hire one person, just every day search those opportunities. But now actually the government actually have automatic matchmaking functions. So actually I will explain to you. So it's not that time consuming anymore. The second thing is a lot of business, they just think, sometimes take forever to get paid. Actually, for the federal level, by law, actually, the agency have to pay the business, the contractor, within 30 days of invoicing. So I know that actually I ask the local government, sometimes actually when they change the administration or, the money, the funds run out, they really didn't pay or delay the payment. But for federal, actually, that's by law. Okay, so don't worry about that. The next things, a lot of them so-called small business actually feel they cannot compete with those large business. But now I will explain like those percentage actually. That's how government really want to work with the small business to help the agency to reach the goal and also to help the small business community too. So the first things, is how can you find opportunities? Okay, how can you find your government clients? Okay, so the first things you still have to do the market research. There are two websites. The first one is sam.gov. So later I will tell you what's the function of SAM. Okay, so this is any agency, if they purchase more than $25,000, they have to post there. So you should be in that database too. So later I will tell you how to register yourself in that database. But you can search which agency actually they use, maybe they bought your the same product or services that you provide, and bought from whom. So you will know actually which agency actually they need your product and services. You don't have to not all the agency will need your product or services. So actually you have to focus on those agencies actually they have used your product or services before, and also whom they bought from. So actually who your competitors. I think right now for the government contracting is very important concept. Don't treat your competitor as competitor, because actually right now small businesses can teaming up. So maybe your competitors can be your partner to get a bigger contractor. So your networking is very important, not just for the government agency and also for those so-called competitors actually. If you can work with them actually, then I think will be a good chance actually to help you. The second one, if you say I don't know my first contract, I don't need a big one, $25,000. I just want a small one to start with. Then the second website, usaspending.gov, that's every penny that government spending. Okay, so you can see what they spend, and maybe some of the some of the agency actually, later I will explain to you, there are 3 levels of government contracting. So please, if you cannot take away any other things, this is the information you can search today. And I just want to share with you, don't think that actually you have to be something that very, like Department of Defense. Of course, depends on your industry, but actually a lot of government's agency, they need your product or services like training. Right now, government agency, they want to reach out to the community. So, like marketing or even event planning. Later, actually, I will give you 2 examples. Actually, you can see their capability statement. So they, like SBA, we gives a lot of funding to nonprofit organization. So we need accountants to do the auditing for us. We have an emerging leaders training program. We have a contractor. Actually, they manage the nationwide program. They hire the teacher, they prepare the materials, they design the curriculum. So actually, and of course, other, depends on your industry, but I just want to encourage everybody, don't think there is no opportunity for you. You will be surprised actually. Later I will share with you some companies actually you never thought that actually they can get government contracts. So what makes a successful contractor? What are the governments they are looking for? Actually, they want to work with established, reliable business. So because a lot of startups, they just think if they can get government contract, then they don't have to deal with the private sectors or other clients. That's not a good idea, okay? Because government agency, they want to make sure that they work with a well-established business and a reliable, okay, reliable. So actually you have to show that actually you provide your product or services on time and within budget. And also you should build up your reputation. Actually, you are a good vendor. You are, very responsible and responsive. So the first thing actually you have to prepare. You need to take time. Okay, take time and money to get your first contract. The first contract really is not easy because those procurement officer, they didn't know you. They didn't know if you're reliable. So actually, because they already work with somebody else, they feel it's good. They work very well together. How should they, change to a new contractor? So you need time. Later, I will tell you actually marketing and networking is most important things actually to get government contract. And of course, money. So especially if you are a startup, actually, you need to build up, not just have the ability to do the work. You have to be financially strong enough. Usually nobody give you money in advance before you do anything. So you have to know that actually if you have enough money actually to accomplish or complete that project or provide the products. Okay, so normally I interview a lot of women-owned business. They say that actually usually need at least 1 year to get their first contract. And then here you can see they say could take up to 2 years. So actually you should still maintain diverse list of your private sector clients. And the government agency, they want to see actually how to treat your customers well, so they come to you. So actually before you get your first government contract, actually you should show you have some big or good private sector clients that can help your credentials too. The last one is e-commerce savvy, because right now everything actually, especially through the pandemic. So right now, everything is online. So you have to be familiar, actually, those meetings, on virtual meetings or communications, or if you're especially I think right now they request cybersecurity. As a contractor, actually, you have to make sure that you protect the information, cybersecurity. So you should prepare those basics first. So the basic requirements, actually, there are 4. I will go to each of them. The first one is you get proper registration and ID number. So the first things that you should get your DUNS number. That's like your social security number for you. But I just attended GSA. They just had a training, actually, in April 2022. Actually, they don't use DUNS number anymore. They will use a special ID number. Okay, so we will wait until then. But now you should get a DUNS number. And the second one is you should check your next codes. Most of the business have more than one next code because you sell different kind of products. So this next code is very important because right now the government procurement, actually, they use automatically matchmaking. So if you enter the wrong next code, they never will send information to you. Okay, so any agency, they need your product and services, actually, they can send you the notice to let you know. So that's very important. Find the correct next code and put it in the SAM. So the second thing actually is you have to meet the site standards, especially for government contracting. Depends on your next code. Some of the industry actually depends just decide by the number of your employees. Most of the time we say, manufacturing is if you have fewer than 500 employees, you are a small business. Like wholesale is 100 employees. But for a lot of business, actually, it depends on their annual revenue. So can go like, because today we talk about government contracts. So for example, like construction company can go up to $33.4 million. Depends on, different kinds of, construction companies. So here, please make sure that actually you meet the site standards. So we have website and also have an office actually can help you. If you are not clear, so please contact the office. The next things, this is what I mentioned. The first things, if you already have a tax ID number, you can do that today. So SAM is Systems for Award Management. So before, actually, when we talk about government contract, actually we have to tell people a lot of links that they should go to. But now everything, actually, they combine all together. Okay, so this is very good information, good website for everybody to explore. So SAM actually is a database. There is like a database. All the government agency, if they are looking for vendors, they have to go, you have to be in that database. Otherwise, they cannot use you. Or prime contractors, they are looking for subcontractors. You have to be in that database. So the first thing, as soon as you have your tax ID number, you can upload actually, your information. So it's like your, elevator pitch actually, to introduce your business. So please just, it's like a resume. Okay, so please put an accurate descriptive terms. So this is like, when you go to the LinkedIn, what do you want to put there? You want to, really can reflect, talk about what business you are, what product and services you are, and also something that actually you're different from, how, you're differentiate from your, competitors. So that's very important for you. We encourage you to, to update or to check if you still in that database. Actually, normally they say 1 year, but I think actually if you can do that every 6 months would be good. Okay. Then you have to maintain compliance. Okay, so you must comply with all the laws and the regulations. So you can see the regulations we call FAR. Later I will tell you there are 3 parts that actually you should, if you have time, you should look at them. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the certified. I mentioned that actually you don't have to have a certification to get government contract, but if you have those certification can help you. Like if I'm a procurement officer for our office, actually I want to reach my goal. So I need to reach, meet those like 3% for service disabled veterans, 5%. We don't call minority, okay? We call socially and economically disadvantaged business. And 5% for 8A. 8A is for socially and economically disadvantaged. This is a very special program. I will go to the detail later. So you can see that, so if you have certification for those categories, actually, a lot of government agencies are looking for you, okay? So please, you can see on the right side, you have the 8A and also apply for the Women-Owned Small Business Program. So you can certify by yourself. If you are the 4 categories here, certified.sba.gov. I think you already noticed the women-owned business is not on the list now. Okay, actually, from 2 years ago, actually, women-owned small business can certify by themselves too. But Congress, they found out a lot of so-called women-owned small business, they are not really qualified. So later I will tell you, I will emphasize that. So that's why Congress just, order that actually right now the women-owned small business certification have to go get approval from SBA. You cannot certify just by yourself. So there are 3 certification that I want to emphasize. 8A, that's for we call socially and economically disadvantaged, women-owned small business, and Hubzone. So have to be, U.S. citizens. Okay, if you are green card holders, you are not considered as a citizen. And then at least 51% actually ownership of the firm is unconditional and direct, here, owned by the minority or women or Hubzone owners. Okay, so those are very important. And what's the definition for long-term decision making? This is have to be the long-term decision maker and also manage the day-to-day operation. That's why a lot of women-owned small business actually they are not really women-owned small business. They just register. They own more than 51% of the business, but actually they never work in the business, or they are not the the operator of the day-to-day management. So that's why please make sure that you are qualified for that. The second one have to be for-profit business. Okay, so doesn't matter what kind of business style. Okay, so it can be individual, sole proprietor, or partnership, LLC, SC corporation. The only exceptions actually is CDC. There's a nonprofit organization, but they are qualified for that. So here, any business actually have been debarred or suspended by any federal entities cannot get government contracting and have to have a place of business in the US, the physically location. Then next things I want to talk about the next code. Okay, so this is I already mentioned very important. You have to search and really the correct one for your business. Maybe you have more than one product or services, so have all of them. So there are people that actually can help you. The first one actually business opportunity specialist. All the SBA's district office actually have BOS. So they can actually help you if you have questions about how to certify or to get government contracting or actually how to negotiate with some agency, they can help you. Okay, and procurement center. Later, I will give you the list. Actually, in New York, we have 4 procurement technical assistance center. And SBA, we have the answer desk and also the AA participant. Like our office, we have a team actually can help the AA certification and the business. So so you have to be familiar with the 8A. So because when you attend those government contracting events, people will ask you, are you 8A certified? No. So those are the economically and socially disadvantaged qualified people. So so the good news actually, because last year's pandemic, so actually if those already got their 8A certified, actually they have extension for 1 year. So, but you have to see the dates if you're qualified. It's 1 year extension because AA certification is 9 years. It's a program only for 9 years. During the 9 years, actually, SBA, like our BOS, actually, they can hold your hand to help you find opportunities to negotiate, even represent you to negotiate with agency. But after 9 years, we say you graduate, you know how to do it by yourself. Okay, so this is for socially and economically disadvantaged. I will go to the qualification next slide. So what's the benefits to be the 8A certified? Of course, set aside, I already mentioned, 5% set aside, the government contract, 5% set aside for the AA certified business. The other one is sole source contracts. There is another rule actually for the government contracting that's called rule of 2. For example, our office need your product or services. I cannot just buy from you. I need to have at least 2 companies, 2 business actually. They submit their proposal to me, then I can work with one of you. Means that you have to be go through the bidding. But if you are 8A certified, okay, so you can just go to the office, tell them you're 8A certified. And if your products or service is good and price is reasonable, they can buy from you directly. Okay, so that's a big advantage for the 8A business actually. Okay, so we already talked about BOS, the business opportunity specialist in our district office. They can help you to navigate federal contracting and also can have formed the joint venture with other. We have a mentor project program. So some big company actually they already got government contract. So can arrange that actually to be your mentor or teaming up to get a government contract. Right now, we see that really work very well. And also you can get a lot of training about that. Also, you can compete for contracts award under multiple social economic programs. Okay. So, but I just want to warn you in advance, okay, to certify for the 8A actually need time. So don't wait to the last minute. A lot of people, they saw one opportunities actually on the website, and then they want to certify right away. Actually, at least take 6 to 8 months actually to certify, and you have to submit the documentation and wait for the approval. So actually, if you are qualified, please apply, certify as early as possible. So this is 8A. I already mentioned that actually only one time. Even you change you change the ownership and the control of the firm, actually, you cannot have the another 8A certified. So here, socially and economic disadvantage. Now we talk about the qualification. Okay, there are 5 groups here. If you are one of them, Black American, Asian Pacific American, Hispanic American, Native American, or subcontinent Asian American, then you are qualified actually for the socially and economic disadvantage. Okay, but even you are not one of the groups actually, then if you can prove that actually you can demonstrate that you have experienced bias of a chronic and substantial nature. I met one young man, actually, he is not in these 5 groups, but he grew up in Africa. So although he's a white young man, but because he grew up in Africa, so actually he got certified actually as an 8A. For the economic disadvantage, actually you have to be you can see here, you have to prove that in the past 3 years, actually, your total assets is less than $4 million and your net worth is less than 250K. Personal incomes are less than 250K. The details, okay, what can be counted, what cannot, you can go to the website to find out. Now we talk about the women-owned small business. So actually, we say women-owned small business, actually there are 2 groups. One is women-owned small business. The second one is economically disadvantaged women-owned small business. So there are 2 groups, and you have to check. Not all the industry or all the business qualify. You have to check the next code for these 2 certification. And also at least 51% owned and controlled by women. They have to be US citizens, okay? And the women have to be the one manage day-to-day operations and also make long-term decisions. Then this is the qualification, okay? So the same thing for economic disadvantage, women-owned small business, they have to show their net worth is less than 750K, and their gross income, the adjusted gross income is less than 350K, and personal assets is less than $6 million. So here, right now, because I mentioned that actually women-owned small businesses cannot certify by themselves, so they have the transmission of the website. So right now you can go to beta.certify.sba.gov. Then you can certify, you can submit all the document there, but you have to wait until SBA to prove that, okay? The other ways is SBA provides third-party certification. So the following 4 organizations actually they can certify for women-owned business, but they have to pay, you have to pay a fee for that. Also, SBA will accept the certification from the Department of Transportation. They have DBE, Disadvantaged Business Enterprise programs, or they can do the certification, and also 8A participant. The next one will be Hubzone certification. Remember, I have 5%, 3%, 3%, 5%, those percentage. No, this is the only one. The Hubzone is 3%. Is the only one goal that government never reached. Okay, so if you're qualified for Hubzone, please certify for that. You know, all the government agencies are looking for you. So it's a historically underutilized business zone. There is a map here. Okay, so you can just enter your address. They will tell you right away you are in the Hubzone or not. But you know, of course, everything is possible to have mistakes. So if you see the map, actually you are in the Hubzone, but they say you are not. So you have to go to your county clerk to get the proof, actually, that actually your address. So you can submit that to apply for that. So there are two qualifications. The first one, your principal office have to locate in the Hubzone. So principal office doesn't mean your headquarters. It's the, you know, if you have more than one offices, actually have to be the one that have the greatest number of your employees. So for example, like construction company, when you get a contract in Florida, I saw one business, they are located in New York, but they got a contract in Florida. So the Florida, they hire most of their employees to do the work. So that is the principal office. Okay, have to locate in the Hubzone. And then the second requirement is more than 35% of those of your employees. Okay, all the employees have to live in the Hubzone. Doesn't have to be in the same Hubzone as your principal office. Okay, can be any Hubzone, because Hubzone is the program actually to help the unemployment benefit, unemployment situation too. So that's why. But when a lot of businesses, they see 35%, they just think, wow, the number is very high. But actually, if you only hire one employee, the good things, they count the employer is an employee too. So if you just hire one employee, either you or the employees live in a Hubzone, then you are qualified, you are 50%. Okay, so the Hubzone, you know, just search those map first. The Hubzone actually, what's the benefit? Other than the set aside contract, which we already mentioned, 3% set aside for Hubzone. The other advantage is you can get a 10% price evaluation preference. What's that mean? So for federal government contract, actually, you know, for example, have two business, okay? They have the same quality. Usually we have to choose the better quality first, okay? But if two business actually they have the same quality, we have to choose the lower price one. But if you are Hubzone certified, actually, we can buy from you, you know, as long as your price is 10% higher, okay, within 10% higher than your competitor. So that's a lot, 10%, okay. As long as it's within 10% higher than your competitor, we still can buy from you. So that's the advantage of Hubzone. So this is the certified certification process. I won't go to the step. I won't go to the steps. I will send you the PowerPoint. Just follow that. Here, I just want to show you, don't assume those Hubzone, those areas like poverty area. You can see even Manhattan next to here, Times Square, okay? Between 42nd and 46th Street and between 6th Avenue and 8th Avenue. That's a Hubzone. I asked people why, they said maybe because there's a garment factory area before, okay? So you can see, I show you the 5 boroughs here. This is Brooklyn, because a lot of people just ask me, say, I live in, my business actually is in the south of Brooklyn. Is that in the Hubzone? I cannot tell you. You can see here, sometimes it's just block here, 2 blocks here, 3 blocks there. So you really, and some place, you know, they have 1 blocks not within a huge, you know, areas. So this is Queens. So you really have to enter your address to find out. This is the Bronx. Bronx, actually, you can see a lot of portion of it actually are in the Hubzone. Okay, if you are service disabled veterans own business, actually, please contact. We have Veterans Business Outreach Center. You can contact them, they can help you. But I know that actually this year, some rules will change. So for the veterans, actually, they can certify with SBA. But I haven't seen that officially announced yet. So, okay, now we will go to talk about how to get a government contract. So the first things I think I encourage everyone, you know, to know the rules. So we call FAR, the Federal Acquisition Regulations, especially the Part 13, 14, 15, you know, the simplified acquisition, okay, you know the rule, and the sealed bidding, and then contracting by negotiation. So those 3, you know, different ways actually to get government contract. So the first things I encourage encourage you, you don't have to go to Washington, D.C. to get federal government contract. Do you know that actually in New York City, there are more than 100 federal government office actually in New York City. And you know, like our office, we have our budget. So actually, government actually purchase under $3,000. For example, our office need to buy some you know, stationery for us, for the employees, or you know, there was an event, actually we have to buy those you know, materials. So as long as it's less than $3,000, actually we don't have to post anywhere. So the important things, actually, you have to know who is the purchaser. Okay, the only requirement is you have to be able to accept a credit card. But I think right now everybody can accept that. Then there is a GSA schedule. I encourage you to, you know, if you can be listed on this GSA schedule. GSA schedule is like a database too, okay? So because GSA is the agency that manage all the federal government's property. They sell, they buy, they rent out the government property. They also hire the security, hire the cleaning company services. Okay, so please, they have a monthly training. So please go to their website to find the schedule. Okay, now subcontracting. I encourage everyone, you know, because you never work with federal government. So I think that is a good idea. You just be a subcontractor first. Okay, so that's how you you work with the prime contractor, and then you can learn how to you know, how to even bid, or you know, how to complete those you know, requirements. So there are 2 websites you can go to. The first one is the Directory of Large Prime Contractors. So you can send them your capability statement. I will give you the samples of the capability statement later. So you can send them, just let them know, what you can do and your interest to be a subcontractor. The second one, subnet, is those prime contractor, they are looking for subcontractor now. So please, then you have to really make sure that actually you meet the requirement, and then you can negotiate or you can contact them. So because for the federal contracting, any contract more than 700K, $1 million for construction, they have to subcontract out. So you should find an attorney with experience in this kind of teaming agreement to put down everything, okay, to write down everything, on the, because especially I saw when the Hurricane Sandy happened, a lot of small business actually, like, a prime contractor, they got to fix like several hundreds of houses and then they sub out. But some of the small business actually, they never work with the prime contractor or the government. So actually if somebody in the team, the contract team that actually doesn't do their job will delay your work, and then who will be responsible or be penalized. So just make sure that actually you protect yourself. So this is the contracting checklist. First, you should register on SAM, and then you should meet business counselors. Later, I will provide you the list. And then you check out those websites that I suggest you to explore. Then you should search for the opportunities and prepare bidding, okay? The last one, market your business. A lot of businesses, they think they're in the SAM, in a database. So, but I told them, I said, nobody will just knock on your door or give you a contract. Okay, so you have to do marketing because it's very competitive, okay? Especially you're new and the agency, they don't know about you. So here, you should contact Procurement Technical Assistance Center. It's nationwide, but later I will show you the 4 in New York, and contact them to help you. Also, actually, most of the agency have a small business advocacy office. You can contact them too. Marketing, okay, you have to let your government customers know you are existing and you want to do business with them, especially if you can help them, your products is good, service is good, and also especially if you have those one of or more than one certification, can help them to reach the goal, and let them know how to buy from you. Okay, so the key federal officials actually for government contracting, they have different titles. Okay, but there's three components actually, officials that you should make acquaintance with. One is a small business specialist. They are advocates, and then program managers and the contracting officers. Okay, so those actually you have to build up the good relationship with them to let them know you are reliable and you want to get a government contract. So marketing tips, actually, first one I mentioned, okay, not all the agency need your product or services. So you should focus on those, they need your product or services. Or also, you have to know their budgets, okay? Government agency is, the spending is have to be within the budget. So you have to research about that. Research their requirement, okay, learn federal procurement regulations, and then show the contracting officer that actually you are a good match for them. I interview more than 100 procurement officer. I asked them actually what kind of business they are looking for. They are looking for business owner that actually pleasantly to work with, persistent. They tell me, say, please tell everybody. Usually your first meeting, usually you won't get a contract because maybe you're missing something. So of course you're upset, but actually don't fight with the procurement officer. You should be politely to ask them, actually maybe give you, tell you actually how you can improve. So you really want to learn, and professional and positive. Okay, so their jobs is very busy and they are looking for a good partner to work with. Then market your company. If you can contact those those contract procurement officers actually in the, or purchasers in the office, you can let them know your capability, or at least actually I heard actually a business that just got a contract. She said during the pandemic she just go to all the agencies' website and find the top person. She sent a capability statement to them, and actually she was surprised. Actually, she received a response. She said because they said nobody ever contact her actually about the government contract. So try your way, okay. And also, if you see any event have the procurement or matchmaking, you have to be there. Like all the procurement technical assistance center, they hold a lot of events. They invite a lot of government agency there. So that's the best opportunity for you to meet with those agencies, procurement officers. Okay. And then you have to follow up with all the lead. When you participate in those events, actually, you get their business card, you give them your capability statement, but actually, when you go back to your office, you should send them a thank you letter and send a capability statement actually, by email, so they can save that, okay? And then from time to time, you can contact them, just remind them actually your business, and actually you still hope, waiting the opportunity to work with them. So the government buyers, actually, they're looking for quality products. So you have to emphasize that, and the reliable suppliers and fair prices, okay? So if you have the certification, actually you're helping them. And simplicity, they are looking for somebody can help them do their jobs better. So there are 8 ways to market to the federal governments here, okay. I won't go to the detail, we don't have enough time for all of them, but just remind you that actually network is very important. There is one saying, they say they don't give the contract to somebody they never meet, they never met, okay? But now, of course, we cannot meet people in person, but just show you that actually it's not just attended the events and try to get contract. You have to, for example, like SBA, we have a lot of events. I see a lot of business actually they attended our events actually because they want to network with government agency, with the other business too. When you see the solicitation, actually you can request or download a bid package, especially in like construction company. You can require the drawings. Then you should understand the purchasing regulation. So for federal acquisition regulation, I already mentioned less than $3,000 from each office. You can contact them directly. They buy with government credit card, and then simplify acquisition under 100K, bids and proposals over 100K. When you read the solicitation, okay, I suggest not just you read at least 3 times, have somebody else, read that too. So sometimes, so make sure you didn't miss anything. Because one veterans business told me, actually, he got a contract when he finished the work, actually. But when the inspection did, actually, they find out actually he used the materials made in Brazil. So they asked him have to just change all of them, replace all of them, because on the solicitation or their contract, they say, all the parts have to be made in US, okay? Then you can request a procurement history. You have to attend a pre-bid meeting or the walkthrough and ask all the questions that actually, you are not clear with. Then when you send your proposal, of course, have to be pre-read, proofread, and also very important, okay, submit it on time. Actually, a lot of people think that's the easiest, requirement, but actually, I saw a lot of business argue with the procurement officer. They say they were on the computer whole day, the deadline, the last day. But computer, because everybody submit the last day, so actually computer cannot manage the traffic, so he cannot submit it. Okay, so I encourage you just at least 3 days before the deadline. Don't wait to the last day. So responsive and responsible, especially your accounting system, the basic, actually you should take care of first. So these are the 4 PTACs actually in New York area. You can contact them at least on their mailing list, so you can receive those invitations for those events. The more know your market, okay, you do the research about their budget and know where to get practical help, PTAC, and you have to take care of your basics and then register everywhere you can. Means a lot of big companies, actually they have the contract. For example, like New York City, do you know how many agencies they have? You can go to each of their agencies. They have on their website, actually. You can see they have a vendor or contract or diversity. Okay, that's where you can find all the information. Develop personal relationship and start small. Okay, the final I want to share with you, you need to prepare your marketing tools. There are 3 presentations. The first one is elevator pitch. When you go to those events, you only have 20 to 30 seconds to talk about your company. Okay, the second one is 1-page capability statement or summary. I will show you the same for the next slides. And also, a lot of agencies, they will invite 3 to 5 business to do the full capability presentation. So you have to do the research about the agency, your audience, okay? And be focused and brief, and then stand out from the crowd. So those are the key points for you. On your 1-page capability statement, you have to have all those informations. For personal resume, you cannot put on photos, but for the capability statement, you can put photos. I'm going to show you 2 capability statements. This is a female veterans engineer. So usually capability statements only 1 page. But she was very smart. She printed 4 sides actually on 1 page. So can have the cover letter, have a capability statement, and a photo of her projects, and also have some testimonial. So then this one actually is a business actually during the last year, actually pandemic, actually. They expand their business, actually. They hold a lot of virtual events for government agency. Okay. Originally, they just a regular marketing company to help small business. Okay, so last things, actually, just want to share with you. Don't make these following mistakes. The first one, doing what your competitors do. Okay, you can learn from your competitors too, but don't just follow them. You should do better than them. Find something that actually you can do better than them. The second one, not targeting a specific market. Don't waste your time to those agency, maybe they never will use your product or services. The third one, that actually the budget, okay? So you should search their budget. Then the next one, if you have a good, contract with an agency or with a big company, actually, don't just spend your time to find the new customers. Actually, if you work with one agency very well, they will be the best marketing ambassador for you. Okay, and the last one, you have to follow up with all the leads. And marketing is not a rocket science. So actually, you have your own customers, so you should develop your marketing plan. That's very important, and build your reputation. Okay, and right now utilize the technology. Okay, so that concludes my presentation today. Alana.
Yes, thank you so much, Man Lee. Just a couple of questions here. Someone asked, well, we'll do about a quick 5 minutes or maybe I'm an educator, tutoring, test prep, college level and higher. I am looking to help our veterans transition from active duty to being a civilian. I'm finding it so challenging to figure out where should I go. So this is a veteran program.
I think the VA. Okay, but VA, they have their education or training center, but you can be the, like we have a training programs. Actually, we get a contractor to manage for us too.
Okay, I started my business in the third quarter of 2019. So any loans that require me to show a comparison is not going to show the tremendous impact the COVID has had on my business. It has cost me over $75,000 in losses. What are my options? That's really not a government contract question, but
right. We know right now a lot of difficulty, but I think you can show that actually during the pandemic you try to do something new, okay, to meet the requirements or need actually, either for the government contracting. Like during the pandemic, actually, like I showed you before, the marketing company, she find out actually most of the government contracting, they need IT. Okay, that's the first thing. Then they want to reach out to the community. So she got a lot of contracts to hold the virtual events for government agencies. So I think you have to show that actually even the pandemic, unfortunately, but actually you find something new and you are creative.
Someone wants to know, is it possible to be awarded multiple awards during the same period, multiple contracts?
Yes.
Okay, good. Someone also asked about, you mentioned about SBA are holding networking events with agencies. Is the SBA doing networking, or are you referring to organizations like the Greater New York Chamber?
Yes, Greater New York Chamber actually hold a lot of events. Actually, they invite a lot of agencies there. But I want to emphasize PTEC, Procurement Technical Assistance Center. Every year, they have to hold those events, and all the agency, even like New York City, every year they hold at least 2. All of their agencies will be there looking for the business. So you should be on those organizations' mailing list. Okay.
Yes, definitely. If everyone who signed up for this will be on our mailing list. Someone asked, they are registered on sam.gov, but they said they also have to be listed on the DSBS, which is the Department of Business Services. as well. Where can I get guidance to follow these steps? I'll let you answer that, but I know that. Go ahead, Manley.
Okay, yeah, actually, so PTAC, if anything relate to the procurement, you should contact PTAC. Okay, they are the experts. They are not only help you with federal level, city and state procurement, they can help you with.
Got it. Okay, let me see if there is, can you have dual certifications, i.e. 8A and women?
Yes, that's the good. I say if you are a minority women, you have 5% plus 5%, you have 10% set aside for you.
Woohoo!
And you can find a Hubzone too. Okay, so yeah, try to do that.
Is the PTACs in New Jersey? It's a
Oh
federal,
yeah,
correct?
it's a national. Yeah. It's national, so you can find that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think those are all. I'm just trying to think. They found that. Okay. Well, Manley, I know that you are very, very busy. I really appreciate you taking the time out for the Greater New York Chamber of Commerce and having this presentation. Very informative. And I think you know what, it's Build Back New York. This is what Manley does. She gives you the tools, she gives you the opportunity, and she gives you the information to put money into to back your business. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, Helena@chamber.nyc. You can call 212-CHAMBER, but you can email me. The easiest way is info@chamber.nyc. I'll put my information in the chat. Manley, you're more than welcome to go. We so appreciate it. Have a great weekend, and I'm sure that we'll see you in the next couple of weeks.
Yes, thank you, and good luck everyone to get government contract.
Thank you.